Versace Bright Crystal Absolu. This is my scent of the day. And do I like it? The answer is yes. Like when I smelled this for the first time, I was like, damn, this is gonna make people want to get on their backs. Like this is a really sexy, fresh, clean fragrance that smells like pomegranate. There's also some raspberries, magnolia, and lotus. And it smells pretty similar to the original, just with that added raspberry note. At least to my nose, this one just smells a little bit more fruity. You know, the original was just more of that pomegranate, lotus, magnolia. But this one just has a teeny bit more depth to it. Now, the people I would recommend this fragrance to are novices, let's say, or somebody, if you're trying to give a gift to your niece, your sister, your daughter, somebody that's graduating, whatever, right? It's their birthday and you want to give them a fragrance that they know when they wear it, they're going to smell good. They're going to be confident in knowing that they smell fantastic. Like this is really a scent that you can't hate. Unless maybe you overspray it and you might potentially get like a migraine from it. Yeah, I could see how you wouldn't like that. But it's not like a screechy fragrance. I don't really find it to be that synthetic. It kind of smells a bit like a shampoo cleanliness, if that makes sense. Like when you just hop right out the shower, you still smell that shampoo on you. You're smelling good. That is just kind of what this fragrance reminds me of. And to me, I love that smell. And they just bottled it right here. Well, this is a sample vial of the fragrance. But all in all, an amazing fragrance for teens if you're in your 20s. To be honest, I find that this works for all ages. And I think that a critique that you would probably see of it is that it's forgettable because it's just so basic. And that's kind of the double-edged sword with having a mass appealing fragrance, is it's not going to be something daring. It's not going to be something bold. And I'm not recommending this fragrance to somebody that is a huge niche fanatic and you already have a lot of these really bougie fragrances that fit whatever situation you're going into. You know, this is kind of like a one-size-fits-all type of fragrance that I call these like chameleon fragrances, that they mold and blend into whatever you're going to be doing. If you're going to be getting dressed up for a date, it's going to smell fantastic. Even if you're running errands in your sweats, and you've got your hair in a bun, this is going to smell amazing in that regard as well. So in school, work, whatever the case is, I think that it's an amazing entry-level fragrance. And I don't find anything wrong with it. Even in terms of performance, this isn't something that I find to be a weak performer. I will say, given that it is your typical fresh floral fragrance, it's not something that's really gonna exceed past 6 hours noticeably. You know, this is still something that you're going to smell on you in that like 4 to 5 hour range. You know what? Let me make a correction there. Because in general, it's very common for people to go nose blind to fragrances. So if you're somebody that has this and you're like, after 30 minutes, I no longer smell it. After an hour, I no longer smell it. That is your nose blindness coming to the forefront. And I've made videos about that all over my channel, on TikTok, on Instagram, if you want to check that out. But that's normal. Don't worry, your fragrance is still there. But just to be modest, I would say this is a scent that lasts around 5 hours. But it's more of a summertime fragrance in my eyes, a springtime fragrance. Yes, if you want to wear it in the cold, like in the winter and in the fall, you can, but just be ready for the fact that it is not going to perform that well, because typically fresh florals and just fresh fragrances in general do not really perform well in cold weather. And the way you can think of that is like with flowers, right? You don't see flowers thriving in the cold weather. They die, they wilt away because they just can't survive those type of temperatures. And it's the same for your fresh fragrances like this. So amazing scents for the daytime, for the office. And I will say that Versace Bright Crystal in general, and I'm even going to say it with the Absolu, has like men in a chokehold. Anybody with like the masculine nose. For me, for example, this is not my fragrance. This is actually my girlfriend's fragrance. And to her, she's like, it's okay. Like it's a nice perfume, right? But to me, I'm like, no, that's sexy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's attractive to the people you're attracted to. Does that make sense? You know, it's just one of those really easygoing ones, and a fantastic fragrance to start your collection with, especially if you live in warm weather like I do, and it's pretty warm year round, and you want a staple scent just to start everything off, and then you want to branch out from there. Versace Bright Crystal Absolu is going to do that for you. Now, if you had to ask me to pick between this and the original, that's going to be a little bit hard for me because I do love the Absolu. But at the same time, there was a sort of coolness about the original Versace Bright Crystal that it almost kind of smelled like icy, if that makes sense. I know ice doesn't really have a smell, but there was just a sort of coolness to that fragrance. I wish I can describe it better for you guys, but when you smell it, you might be able to see what I'm talking about. It's not sea notes. It doesn't smell like the ocean, but there was just something about it that was like, you know, when you chew you chew gum and then you drink cold water, and there's just kind of that like refreshing whoa that you get. That's kind of how I felt with my first impression of the original Versace Bright Crystal, that it had that mixed with the fruits and the florals. But with this one, I find that cool note to be stripped away, and to just kind of double down on the fruit, and then double down on the, not citrus, double down on the florals with the fragrance. And there's also some more like noticeable musk in this fragrance as well. But all in all, both of them are solid fragrances. Again, it comes down to preference. What I'll do is I'll put a discount link for this fragrance in the description box below. It'll have the original Versace Bright Crystal too, if you want to get a sample of it, if you want to maybe do some comparisons, because I don't recommend you buying fragrances for retail price at these retail stores. Definitely save yourself some money. And with the extra that you have, you can buy another sample of whatever you want. You know what I mean? So all in all, this is definitely a thumbs up. Very sexy fragrance. This is a compliment getter. If in case I didn't mention that, in case that is something that matters to you, most definitely a compliment getting perfume. Really, really lovely scent. Just very attractive. All right. Anyways, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.